the toxic fans. Let's have a quick look at toxic fandom. So, where is this? As you know, Ian Levine makes AI reconstructions of missing Doctor Who, and I think this was a birthday card that he was given by a couple of people who work for him, right? And I think it's really very, very cute and fun.
Mr. Levine, or should I say Ian, a very happy birthday to you. 72 years of brilliance and boundless curiosity.
72 now, that's a rather significant number, wouldn't you say? Like the digits of a time coordinate.
Yeah, let's be fair. The AI isn't like, that good in this one, but I think it's just meant to be a nice thing, right? Not a big deal.
Always moving forward.
It has come to my attention that a group of rather remarkable young men, Ryman, Ihan, Shaun, Shoaib, and Sami, have been working tirelessly on your behalf, breathing new life into adventures once thought lost to time.
Yeah, these must be all the people in, I don't know, India or wherever he's employing, right? I've never seen Doctor Who, don't know anything about it.
Well, that's almost as difficult as piloting the TARDIS with your eyes closed, and yet they've done it for you, for history.
Take it from an old traveller through time.
I'd say the Hartnell AI voice reconstruction is very good.
Time and space preserving history is no less noble than making it. So I raise my metaphorical glass of tea to you, dear Ian.
It did really work. I think that really worked.
Because thanks to your passion and their hard work, the echoes of Gallifrey ring out just a little louder today. Enjoy every moment. And remember, birthdays are a bit like regenerations.
May your journey ahead be as rich and wondrous as the one behind. Happy birthday.
Okay, so his Hartnell stuff was very good. I thought that was excellent. Anyway, not a big deal, right? Not big. So this was part for Ian Levine's birthday. And again, look, I love Ian Levine, right? Like, Ian Levine is a generally a sweet, nice guy. I mean, like, Ian Levine, you would hate me making this comparison, very much like Donald Trump. They are who they are. There's no pretense with them whatsoever, right? And he's a very loving, giving person. Genuinely. I mean, I've had personal interaction with him. He really is. He's just a lovely person, right? He's a nice person to know. I'm not making it up. It's 100% true, right? He hates Donald Trump. I don't mention Donald Trump to him at all. I mentioned one time because he asked me about it, right? I don't want to rub it in his face. Because that's how much I love Ian Levine, right? Because I love the Trump stuff. Right, that's how much I love Ian Levine, right? And he always gets so much shit as well. We're up to 5. So then, at his birthday party, he invited Joe Street. This is called The Confused Adipose. A couple of like very very woke Doctor Who podcasts. I would say podcasters very much in the toxic fandom category, right? Confused Adipose and Tharis, right? And look, but I think good for him. Honestly, good for Ian Levine for reaching out. So apparently, toxic Adipose, Confused Adipose used to keep taking the piss out of what's it called again? What's it called? Doctor in Distress, and he asked him not to, right? And then he was actually gone quite well with him, right? So anyway, this came out. I saw this picture there. I was like, well, I'm glad I wasn't there. This looks like it will be it could go nowhere good. And of course not, because like again, I call them toxic fandom because these people cannot cope with the existence of anybody that's not like them. I just think it's a very fragile worldview they have, right? They can't be, and also they're fragile people, right? So this guy, Metamorpheus, calls out, why did you go to this guy's birthday party? Because he invited him. And what's Ian Levine ever done to you, Metamorpheus, right? Who are you? I do not love the bright sword for its sharpness or the arrow, blah, 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 whatever. Okay, but like, what's he ever done to you? Like, it's a nice enough guy. Again, I don't agree with him in many things. Isn't he a right-wing freak? No. Who swore off the show when Jodie Whittaker was cast because she's a woman. And again, I don't think it's because she was a woman. I think because she was really bad in the role, right? But she was so bad in the role that you can't, that the only way you can answer is like, oh, it's because she's a woman, right? This guy, Confused Adam Pose, put out a response, right? Saying, look, I didn't know, I just turned up. He's being normal, right? Right. Thanks for this way. Hope this can be a learning moment. They love to talk down to you, right? Anyway, so this guy, these people are just the worst, right? What's this? And now he's calling out Faris because he used to have a different opinion. Again, these people are just the worst people in existence. And again, it's the only people who Big Finish care about, right? So they are made insane by AI. They see AI and it's like their world implodes, right? It's the most terrifying thing in the world to them, right? Look at this chat about it. It's ridiculous. How is it? Nothing like using reanimated corpses of people who died 40 or 50 years ago to pat and bill yourself on the back for a ghoulish work you're doing. Like, J-Boy. Here's what I think, where I think the hatred for AI comes from, right? It's people like J-Boy. I don't think they have real jobs, and they think they're going to get some kind of job in a creative field because they feel they're so brilliant and inventive and creative, right? And then AI comes along and says, no, they're going to steal my job. No, mate, no, they're not stealing your job because you wouldn't get one anyway because you're not a creative person. AI is merely a tool, right? Like, are we sure this is a guy worth spending our time with? And for so what's this? The greatest birthday present I could ever receive. Give it to me out of love. Yeah, well, this thing, he's being very, very nice and genuine. And like this guy, J-Boy, is like, human interaction. I don't like it. And then he says something that's like relatively pro-Israel, right? And that makes him an evil person. Of course he's also a Zionist puss. Piece of shit. I mean, like, again, you people are such fucking racists, right? People on the right side of history, people like J-Boy, such fucking racist, right? Obsessed with Jews. Do you reckon that's what he looks like? Yeah, probably. And again, look, what can I tell you? Get a life, maybe? Yeah, that might be nice, right? It says he's got a channel, but doesn't post anything there apparently. But like, mate, don't spend your life looking and spinning bar at other people who've done more than you ever will. And again, why is it you hate Jews? Oh, right, because anti-Semites told you Jews are evil. Just like the people who said, oh, Jews are using Christian baby blood for our... You're no different from those people whatsoever. So now all these people bitching about AI. None of you are getting... See, they all got little, like... mostly got, like, these little avatars where they're like, oh, we're going to be so creative. You're not. You're not. Even with AI, you'll still do shit. And you wouldn't even do shit. You'll do nothing with your life. What is this? Did they animate Hartnell and Trout's non-union Mexican equivalents? These things happen. It looks horrid. You'll be fine with that, right? I mean, like I don't know what is your problem. Your problem is that it's getting rid of your dream of some kind of artistic success. And it's a dream, mate. It's never going to happen, right? It's not going to happen, right? Your only hope of artistic success. What the fuck? Says Phoebe. I love these people. They're so funny. Actually autistic. Yeah, okay. What percentage of these people are autistic? This is disgusting. I'm against AI, really. Who would have guessed the big cheese is against AI? Let's have a look. He's got a YouTube and Twitch channel. Let's have a look. Okay. You have 239 subscribers and you do shit. Yeah, what are these? Doctor Who reactions. Okay, mate. Yeah, AI is not going to come take your job, right? But you make dead people say stuff is wrong. What do you care about right or wrong? What do you know about right or wrong? And again, they all have the Palestinian flag in their bio, right? He's still 17 years behaving like this. Maybe it's dementia. Somebody made it for him, you fuck cunt. Right? This is fucked. Imagine loving a thing and being so disrespectful to the people who made it. Yeah, I mean, again, you people are just like they love to be puritanical cunts, right? They are not happy if they can't be puritanical cunts. That's why they're toxic fandom. Oh, yeah. Thank God I was not at that birthday party. Man, this guy's just such a loser. Man. I mean, when you're obsessing about other people, right? That's probably a sign that maybe I didn't want to delete that. Turn it down. Hang on. I think I wanted that. Let's see what the mirror has to say. Oh, I was on the right thing. Okay, fine. Fat bath tirade. What are we up to? Where'd it go? Okay. Coronation Street icon addresses speculating she'll play the Doctor in a spin-off. Who's this? All right. I have no idea. The universe is set to expand to be animated Doctor Who series. There's a CBB series. There's the only Doctor Who that stands a chance of being made in the next few years, right? And it's not even. We don't even know it's going to be made. Right? We don't. Tenders went out for proposals. If BBC sees a proposal, they go, "That's good." They'll make it. All right. So Loose Women's Denise Welch would like the part. Okay, actress wants the part. That doesn't really seem amazing to me. Listen, it would have to be some kind of vocal talent that could do several voices. Listen, I just think they need to get their head out their asses around their gender confusion, because the Doctor is a male role, right? It's not a female role; it's a male role, and they just can't get their heads around that. No, Doctor is genuinely a male role, right? It doesn't work as a lady. And if you did have a lady play it, the only way to have her play it successfully is for it to be her play it in a masculine way. It doesn't mean she's carrying a big gun, but with testosterone. Who cares? Where are we up? There's a few things I wanted to look at. More Russell Davies' stupidity? Yeah, why not? So Russell Davies events controversial Doctor Who villain changes. You have to accept 40 years have passed, but you made it shit. What does 40 years later mean? Omega's nothing like Omega. And it's not that 40 years are passing. Okay, look, I can tell a Klingon was a Klingon in Star Trek, the original series, in Star Trek motion picture, in Star Trek 6, in Star Trek Next Generation, and they all look different. I can even tell the Klingons in the first episode of Star Trek Discovery. Variation on the theme. This is not a variation on that theme. This is just shit. Right? It is just shit. Russell Davies has defended his controversial changes to Omega in the series finale. It kept making it absolutely pointless. Omega returned not as a mythical cloak figure of lore remembered by fans of the classic series, but a large skeletal CGI monster. His dramatic reappearance was short-lived as the character swiftly defeated within minutes after eating the Rani. And again, you did have one good word. It was good night from me. Right? Reactions were rather unevenly divided to say that they weren't divided. Most people hated it. Right? It was divided, 90%, 10%. We all thought it was shit, right? One of the biggest criticisms, there was a decision not to use an actor in the costume, has been done in Omega's original appearances. Look, in all fairness, Arc Infinity was shit as well, but not as shit as this. Davis addressed the backlash in Doctor Who magazine, saying, "You don't need a man in a big cloak when you got Archie Punjabi, who you then just killed for no apparent reason. And then your Dobson being their own Time Lords. A third is just going to make it slightly mad." It already is, right? And so why introduce him then? He added, these things do grow in legend and they become the legend. The point of Wishworld is and the point of the Underverse actually is that the continuing thing across the two series, the wishes and hopes come true. Well, good for you. Did your wish and hope come true? No, it failed awfully, right? And again, look, the bottom line was Sutekh, your version of Sutekh was a stupid, giant bat dog monster, right? That made no fucking sense. And your version of Omega was a giant decaying skeleton monster. That made no sense, right? That, again, neither had any personality whatsoever. This was not a knock it out the park thing for you, Russell, okay? This was bad. They wanted the Time Wars narrative of justification. A lot of things about Omega were not said in the original series, he admitted. You have to accept that 40 years have passed, the Time War came along, and everyone's history got changed, and that's where what Omega is now. You can reinvent it. Well, again, then why bring it back? If it has literally no relation to it whatsoever, why bring it back? I'll tell you why, because you wanted clicks for the name, right? You're desperate to make some kind of social media impact. That's the reason you wanted to bring it back, and that's the only... and then you didn't bring it back. Like, why? Okay, you want to bring Jodie Whittaker back. Why not have her played by Brad Pitt or like Hugh Grant? Bring back Jodie Whittaker, have her played by Hugh Grant in a different costume. Same thing, right? He replaced Crab Omega with giant zombified fetus Omega. Exactly. But again, you brought Jodie Whittaker back. Why not bring her back played by Hugh Grant in a different costume? Right, and say it's the same thing. It's not the same fucking thing, is it? 40 years have gone by. Really? Oh, fuck you. He compared the reinterpretation of the Gathering to the real-world assessment of historical figures. Oh, you mean like how you took a shit on people like Winston fucking Churchill, who saved the world for fucks like you to then take a shit on? Right? There's plenty of muscle made about Churchill being a Doctor Who, when there's plenty of history that says he wasn't such a good guy. Fuck you. Fuck you. As opposed to Nelson Mandela, who already cheated on his wife. No one's a good fucking guy. Fucking prick. Again, this moralizing. Who do you think you're moralizing to? You're a deeply immoral person. I find it immoral to have sex with somebody you don't know their name of in a club and lose their condom up your ass. Right? I find that immoral. But I'm not going to comment on your life. But again, why is it your need to be like act like the morality police to everyone? It's ridiculous. Up to. There's plenty to suggest he wasn't and always and that's always the way. Our history of slavery. See, every fucking point of his brain is addled by the woke mind virus. Oh, I'm such a bad person. What, you think black people didn't have a history of slavery? Did black people have slavery? Was there slavery in Africa? Yes, there was, right? Oh, God, you people are so stupid. Our way of walking through the world and constantly being is being reanalyzed. No, not by normal fucking people, just by guilt-ridden dumb fucks like you, Russell. Oh, no, I'm white. Fucking hell. Nobody with this kind of insanity should be let anywhere near Doctor Who, frankly. So I think Simon Gallifrey, that's happened over the years. Omar has been reconstructed. Oh, fuck off. Oh, it's just so annoying, right? It's just so annoying. It was a bleeding cool article I wanted to get to. Hang on. Tiptoe. Russell completes writing for new series script. Oh, that's his new... now that Russell's finished with moaning about and gnashing teeth over disgruntled fans. Oh, God, Bleeding Cool, such a garbage site. Russell have announced he's writing scripts for new Channel 4 drama Tiptoe. This being an age of social media, he posted on social media title page on Instagram. Casting will begin soon. He used to walk in the rooms and go, ta-da! And now I tiptoe in case I get seen. What's it about? It's a sin. No, don't do that. That and the emotional toil of COVID lockdown. What drove Russell to return to Doctor Who? Okay, now on Tiptoe, Davies explores the most corrosive forces facing LGBT community today. Examining danger as prejudice creeps back into our... It's not prejudice to say I don't think women have fucking dicks, you dick-faced moron. Fuck you. I'm allowed to have my beliefs, and it doesn't mean I'm a Nazi. Right? Problems we thought were long gone. I was like, why do you think that is, Russell? Why do you think? Do you think you might have taken the piss a bit? Do you? I mean, like, me, Russell, stop with the relentless degeneracy, right? How about just relentless degeneracy? One second. Okay, now I've got to pull up an example. You know, again, nobody had a problem with the LGBT world until it became the LGBTQ Rainbow Alliance. Right, and then it was like, what the fuck is this? 1 second, do I? Oh, maybe it's over here. Oh no, I just missed it. Where is it? I just saw it. There we go. Doink. I don't know where to start. Here we go. Yeah, Russell, this is what we said no to, right? This bullshit. You can't just do whatever you fucking want and have us go, oh, how stunning and brave. No, this is degenerate shit, mate. This is degenerate shit. And most decent people are like, look, whatever you want to do in private is fine. But it's your kink to do it in fucking public. So give it a fucking rest. Oh. Yes. Whoa. Well, there's so much prejudice in the world. Why do people hate people just for loving each other? No, it's for rubbing your dicks in 5-year-olds' faces and saying, I'm just trying to help. Oh, Russell. Again, I wish you could get out your bubble. Dumb fucking moron. Really is. Doctor Who. What's wrong with the blonde woman playing the Doctor? Well, it didn't work out well last time. Okay, yeah, Doctor Who can be easily fixed, but you're not going to like it. Well, let's see what it is we won't like. Okay, does Doctor Who really need fixing? Well, it is completely failed. So you tell me. Do you think complete failure is a good thing or a bad thing? So we got a 4-point plan that might just work. Okay, but some of you are going to hate it. Get rid of the woke, right? Get rid of the woke and reboot. In case you haven't heard, Doctor Who hasn't been renewed for a 3rd season. The sky's definitely falling. Well, you kept telling me it was going to be fine, right? Yeah, no, you got egg on your face. Not helping the situation so that showrunner T Davies had to share his latest Doctor Who magazine. They just put in the pools after this issue. To be more precise, not helping the situation was how fans were interpreting Davies had to share in his latest column. Well, we all know that was happening, right? That's led to a whole lot of folks online looking for someone to blame. Rusty Davies is more than enough, all right? It's fine. And their own host-run remedies for the series. Well, again, just stop being relentlessly woke and queer. How about that for a plan? Do you think that could work out well for you or not? No? I don't know. We're up to... So why shouldn't I? Because you're the problem. Bleeding fucking God. Was it Addy Tantamant? Woke little fuck that he is? No, Ray Fluke. Woke a fuck. Right? You're the problem, and your worldview is a problem. Right? Again, that you made Doctor Who queer at the same time being queer, got very, very into young children, was maybe not the best of plans. Right? Are you gonna back down from that? No, you're never gonna admit you're wrong. Right? I'm sorry. Everything we said was right. Everything after Capaldi is a massive failure. I don't know how fans were interpreting what Davies had to share as a column. Okay. So what's their 4-point plan? Also, a new generation of follows up a full-point man of what they can do to get Doctor Who back on track, but also open up the long-running series to a new generation of viewers. Yeah, again, Doctor Who has to be about good writing and good ideas. Essentially, it was an anthology series with recurring central characters. Could go anywhere in time, and it was like about finding interesting ideas. Like Horror Fang Rock is an interesting idea. Pyramids of Mars, interesting idea. Happiness Patrol, interesting idea. Like nothing in the what Space Babies was not an interesting idea, right? And trying to make it for the clicks is stupid. They should have made a tailor-made social media version, a TikTok version, a YouTube version, like in 3-minute segments or less. Right, that were good and well written and engaging, not have with the Doctor as the space savior of everything with so grandiose. No, just genuinely speaking, good stories. The Doctor being the Doctor, which the Doctor hasn't been since Capaldi. Ever since Capaldi, the Doctor's been an issue rather than a person. Fine. So shut up, shut it down. Yep, for 5 years, seriously, except for Big Finish because they're pretty awesome. At this point, they're going to shut themselves down. So I can't even imagine. I don't know how they survive. What you mean? You got to get rid of the memory of the skank that you put on it, right? Yeah, your skank of relentless woke and queerness, right? The kind of social media doom and gloom that's devolved into insults and finger pointing. I always point the fingers at the same people for years, right? It's always been your fault. Maybe a timeout is needed because people can call their jets. Oh, you mean so your toxic pieces of shit fans can just fuck off and the real fans of the classic series will stay around? That's actually great, right? That's a very good idea. So that's what I say. Maybe it's time for a hard reboot. Well, I kind of think yes. But I would then connect it to the original series up until Capaldi and then put everything post-Capaldi in a different universe or different reality. Regarding its streaming series and films, one of the biggest problems plaguing Marvel is you have to do so much homework to know what's going on. Well, that's true. Same can be said for Star Wars and the Star Trek universe. It's definitely the case with Doctor Who. You can't sneeze in without 1,000 folks online saying something about Silent Sea. Well, listen, it's just that everything's a direct sequel, to things that have gone before. So what do we need? A hard reboot to allow the show to start forging its own path. I think Harry Mellor, right? Someone was asking me who I thought would be a good doctor. Harry Mellor, who played Dudley in the Harry Potter movies, but he's lost a ton of weight. He's a really interesting, dangerous actor, right? I think it's Patrick Troughton's grandson, right? And that's, I think, who the Doctor should be. Somebody like mischievous, right? Rather than being here, Harry Mellor. Or Harry Melling, I should say. Him. I think he would be a great Doctor. Love him with that hair, actually, as well. Right? He looks like he might just do something crazy. Which I kind of like. I really think he'll be... and he's got that crazy look. Right, like there's more going on behind the eyes. I think it'll be a really interesting. I like him with this hair though. I think this hair really kind of works, right? And I think he's Patrick Troughton's grandson. I think he is, but I think he'll be again. And I love the eyebrow line of Patrick Troughton. I've been watching Web of Fear recently. Oh god, it's beautiful, right? He could have that same kind of thing. Right, like fun and naughty, right? And I like the naughtiness of the Doctor that's been so lost since he's become this relentless savior, right? Hard reboot without doing a contract. What Patrick Troughton's second Doctor said about sneezing? Okay, it's hardly it. So, what do we need? A hard reboot that would allow the show to start forging its own path forward. Also, you can remake episodes. I think that really appeals to me. Right, that really does appeal to me. I'm not saying wipe clean everything that came before, but there's a lot of creative folks there that can find a way to bundle it all up nice. Yeah, Crisis on Infinite Earth right? It needs a reset. Out of sight, out of mind. From there, we got 2 episodes special that will resolve the Piper issue moving forward. No, Just forget that. Never come back to that. Nothing is it was one of the greatest signs of total failure, right? Absolute total failure. Just forget Billy Piper. After that, nothing but a single 2-episode adventure that lives up to the possibility of the TARDIS offers for a while before even considering driving back into overarching mythology. Well, again, the ratio they had in the first few years of like 30 to 40% classic monsters and 67% like why would anybody think this would work, right? 67% new was about right. That really worked. Then it got again just started looking down its own navel. Look beyond the UK for showrunners and doctors. That's actually not a bad idea. Walking Dead, Rick Grimes, former Georgia British actor Andrew Lincoln. I don't think he'll be that great. But you see where I'm going? It's going to be a kind of law change. The kind of law, then change it. It's been a bit interesting in his Britishness. Blah, blah, blah. The show ignores the world of creative possibilities and what? So if I can say, see, Doctor Who is a British show. I would like to see J. Michael Straczynski as head writer, frankly. Right? I really would. I think that'd be pretty darn good. Doctor Who is about adventures across space, time and space, so look like it. I don't think anyone can debate that how great Chris Eck and Billy Piper were as actors, both together and, of course, on during their run, right? Of course, their run. They needed to be because their session screamed less adventures across space and more law and order. What? That's not true. That's not true at all. They're talking about great adventures, and they just weren't bombastic. Yeah, law and order? After 6 years, it's time. Am I reading that right? They needed to because their season screamed less. Okay, fine. After 60 years, it's the time for the show to start being able to go pretty much anywhere, anytime, as epic as a premise. No, it doesn't need to be epic. It shouldn't be epic, in fact. After that, it should be average to low-cost TV. Because that's where Doctor Who always was, its sweet spot always was. I'm not sure if I'm right about that. It's just an idea off the top of my head. But I think TV in general is way too over-budgeted. If BBC can't afford it, then they need to partner up with somebody with deep pockets and are interested in investing in a tentpole franchise. Well, they tried that, and then they just gave them queer shit that failed completely. Who knew? Hey, let's do exactly the same thing. Duh. Guy's a moron, really. That's very, very dumb of you, mate. Very, very dumb. So nothing says your era was super duper successful and say massive Doctor Who t-shirt sale now on. Lots of t-shirts are currently available on the planet at a little $1.99. That come on, really? Count me in. Look, even the David Tennant ones don't sell. $1.99 for a Ruby Sunday shirt. Down from $17.99. $5.99 for Dr. Ncuti. $3.99. $3.99 for Catherine Tay. $4.99 for Super Gay TARDIS. And another $4.99 for also Super Gay. Who wants this bullshit? Fuck. Oh, yes, I understand you're gay. Oh, you're so proud. That's pretty good value. You're so proud of yourself for being gay. I just don't get why you're so proud about being gay. How are you expecting to get $4.99 for that? Goblin King. Really? Just put that down to $1.99. Yeah, these may be collectible because this is the worst of Doctor Who. I'm here for fun. By I say fun, I mean fucking you in the arse. I'm here for fun. Really? Yeah, I'm here for being fucked in the arse. Much like Doctor Who. Dalek one still sells for £20. Right? I mean, why did they even make this one? Janice, was it Goblin? Oh, you dumb fucks. You dumb fucks. You thought this was actually work. You dumb fucks. Look at this. Yeah. Massive fucking failure in every way, shape, or form. My series that one looks quite nice. Probably sold out. Yeah, exactly. Ruby Sunny, $1.99. Absolute complete. They haven't even got not Millie Gibson, a Verizon C one. Anyway, Bradley Dare, I think, believe in the chat, very astutely points out. Sells of t-shirts, merch would have been improved had the Rabbi much saucy C-Scar postcard imagery. It would. I'm sorry. That's fun, right? I do think that's fun. That's also fun. It is a clown show. And Verada looks very good in the slutty nurse. Yes, you're absolutely right. But look how much Doctor Who's on its arse. That's crazy, right? That is absolutely crazy. Yeah, this is what we wanted to get to. Been taking my time trying to get to it. Ross David avoiding that hard truth about his second era Doctor Who. Oh, I think the hard truth is this. He was convinced gay people are under incredible assault and attack because most people turned around and said, yeah, we don't think women have penises, and can you stop involving my children in your sexual fetishes, right? That'd be really nice, right? And somehow in their head that said they translated as, let's throw gay people into a concentration camp. No. All we're asking you is to stop pretending women have penises. And you can pretend it. Stop insisting I pretend that women have penises, because I don't think they do. And you're involving children in your weirdo sexual fetishes, right? Which is essentially cross-dressing and being so seen. But again, that you thought that the gay world was under attack, that is the insane delusion that you're under. And like, people in wheelchairs are under attack. No, people in wheelchairs whose hair was purple, who screams at you, you're a Nazi. They don't often go down so well. But it's not because they're in the wheelchair. I mean, it's like, and you know, in the Reality War episode where Ncuti finally steps out of his bubble, right, of being happily married with a child, like having a good life and everything being good for him and everybody else. And no, I'm stepping out and now I'm putting a dress on and being queer. Oh, and yeah, here's the thing, Russell. Most people aren't queer, right? Most people are not queer. And you wrote it as if most people are queer. And they're not, right? That's the bottom line. You wrote it as if 90% of the world was queer and anybody who wasn't was just a weird, evil bigot. No. You're just a weirdo, mate, right? You are just a weirdo. Anyway, let's read what this is going to say. Both by Dominic Parks. Let me say this right from the start. I have a great deal of respect for Rusty Dave. Me too. Again, that this went so incredibly, crushingly wrong is breathtaking to me, right? Just so incredibly, crushingly wrong. Without him, Doctor Who might never even exist in the 21st century. I tend to agree. He brought the show back from when it was dead in 2005 and gave it energy and relevance and helped define the entire era of modern British science fiction. I agree. 100% I agree. His influence is enormous and rightly celebrated, but respect is not the same as immunity from criticism. Sadly true. Right? Again, It's a Sin, probably one of the best things that he's ever written. I love his work, right? Up until now. In case you missed it, Davies recently announced he was pausing his long-running column in Doctor Who magazine after recapping a narrative arc of the last 2 seasons. He signed off with, not the end. Don't be mad. Doctor Who will never end. It came with a caveat. We don't know what's happening yet, and everyone works. While everyone works out, I'll take a pause on this page. Yeah, everyone other than you, right? And that's it. Doctor Who will return, yes, one day. You don't mothball a 62-year-old cultural institution forever. What do you do after you've beaten it to death? Right? I mean, dude, you literally beat that thing to death. But the shift in tone from Davies is significant. The familiar bravado, the energetic confidence has given way to something less certain and more evasive, like someone sidestepping a very difficult truth rather than facing head on. 100%. Well, that's the other thing. I come to realize that anybody working in the entertainment industry, you've got to assume lies a lot, right? There's I'm not going to say his name. Yeah, I'm not going to say his name, but there's a guy who I respect a lot, right? A writer who's been around since the dawn of fandom, right? And has been very instrumental in many, many parts of Doctor Who fandom, right? I kind of realized this person lies a lot about the stuff they're working on or the companies they're working for, that they're doing better than they actually are. Right, I can't believe. They're actually he fibs quite a lot. But again, I think there's just something in the entertainment industry. They lie professionally, right? David has become a constant showman, a storyteller, but also a skilled promoter. Well, yes, but you got to have something good to promote. When he returned to the franchise in 2003-2004, he spoke in grand sweeping terms of creation of the Hooniverse, global expansion via Disney, new spin-offs, new creative frontiers, a revitalization of the core series. It wasn't revitalized, it was queered up. It sounded like the dawn of a new golden age. Yes, it did! I was there! But increasing that vision feels less like a plan and more like a glossy pitch. And that distance is beginning to show in the work itself. Well, I can't disagree. I don't know, though. I am only one voice. I'm only one voice in this crazy world. And I think it's always good to be able to bring on another one in the hive mind to make things either clearer or confuse things even more. You will recall in Time of the Rani that when the Doctor One was waking up everybody all at once or something in that giant brain at the same time. I can't remember. But yeah, I remember it being reasonably shit with nice special effects. Somebody who wouldn't call reasonably shit with nice special effects, quite the opposite, actually. Very, very mediocre special effects. Kind of nice guy. It's Birmingham's King of the Geeks. Dan Hadley, how are you doing, sir?
Yeah, special effects, decidedly mediocre. Hello. I'm okay, thank you, mate. How are you? I'm sort of watered, almost. Man.
It's been hot out in England, from what I hear. I had a brilliant idea. I'm not going to do this because I had a brilliant idea. I was watching Enlightenment last night. Enlightenment had like 3 sets of special effects, right? It had the original. It had the 2010, 2003 special edition.
DVD.
Yeah, which I really like that cut, I have to tell you. And then they did the effects again, equally poorly, for the Blu-ray in 2023. And again, I watched it last night. All the effects are essentially ships in space floating and floating past each other, occasionally blowing up, right? You can make that in AI now from your desktop without blinking. You can make much better new effect shots that will seamlessly slot in for basically a price of a open art subscription or a mid-journey subscription.
Ian Levine would definitely agree with that as well.
I think I might do a couple of shots just as a proof of concept, but it seems like a lot of work. But I mean that's really if your effect shots are not like integrated with live action, right? They're not like it's a different word for it when it's like a laser beam they put on. I can't remember, but if it AI, 100% is the way to do it, right?
You sound like your imagination has been well and truly.
Well, listen. Every technology, right? Every technology is driven by the rampageous desire for smut, right? I mean that's really. I mean, like video only really happens because of porn, right? Downloading only. By the way, a great show. I can wholeheartedly recommend. It's called Pam and Tommy, about internet porn essentially. But it's on Disney Plus. It's not just funny and dirty. It's very, very, very good, right? It really shows how the birth of like streaming technology destroyed Pamela Anderson's life.
Because even though it focuses on those two people, obviously the clue is in the name. There's a whole set of characters around them that all, through their various machinations, sort of conspire to make a bad situation considerably worse for them. So you're quite right. It is absolutely fascinating. a take on the whole of the ecosystem as it
Oh,
was
you seen it?
in the mid-90s. Yeah, oh God, yeah, I loved it. Watched it.
Oh,
right
well,
away.
excellent. Whenever I suggested something, they were like, "What? No, oh, forget." It's fantastic. Oh, good. I'm glad you've seen it.
It's superb. The best thing that Sebastian Stan's ever done that I've seen. He was completely convincing in that.
I still waiting for him to be Luke Skywalker. 100% needs to be Luke Skywalker.
Yeah, I'd hold with that.
What I would do if I had the Star Wars franchise to revitalize it now, I would do another Andor type series because I love Andor. Right, yes. But instead of setting it before Star Wars, I'll set it in between Star Wars and Empire Strikes Back. Right, do 2 seasons in there. But I would have recast Han, Luke, and Leia and have them appear as like incidental characters in that, and then from that use those same actors to do post Jedi stories, like EU stories, which is what people wanted.
They've damaged this. They've damaged the brand, the IP so much that now actually recasting those characters isn't really a big deal. And you're quite right, Sebastian Stan. I had no problem with Alden Riker's Han Solo. Come to think of it,
it was great.
The principle of it, I agree with you. If I was, I think I would probably do, set. Largely speaking, I think anything to do with Star Wars should be set between Star Wars itself and The Empire Strikes Back. That's not the world's biggest Star Wars fan, but for me, that's the period of time that's actually probably the only.
Oh, you know what they should do. This would be awesome. Maybe do it as a streaming movie or I'm not sure. Shadows of the Empire. Do you remember Shadows of the Empire?
Yeah. I bought several books of that. Like it was a comic, wasn't it? There was a game.
Yeah. So Shadows of the Empire, which was a Star Wars movie without a movie. That was the marketing push. You had toys, you had comics, you had everything apart from the actual movie. With a recasting Han, Luke, and I think Han isn't in that one. Though. Recasting Luke and Leia, that's the way to go, 100%. Anyway, fine. Let me finish off this article. This article is essentially saying Russell T Davies just can't deal with reality. Right?
Has he spoken again, or is this a gradual word?
This is people just mulling over the twisted wreckage of Doctor Who, right? It's kind of like now I wasn't alive at the time, but I get the feeling it's kind of like when Richard Nixon resigned from being president, and everybody was just kind of stunned and like, what happens next?
It's
so I
funny
think that's where a lot of people are right now.
Yeah, I do. I equated this situation and the circus around it to Watergate to somebody not that long ago. I'm not sure if they even read my email, but I was very pleased with the allegory.
It really does work, doesn't it? Anyway, it's only got a couple of paragraphs to go. Yeah, okay. Well, we can whiz through this. Let's be honest. Regeneration shooting outward to Billy Piper felt like a narrative panic button. Well, that's the thing. We all could see it a million miles away, right? It did. Yeah, it absolutely did. The sort of twist you're going to reach for when a long-term planning gives way to short-term damage control. There's been no firm word on Series 16, no clear word on the next Doctor, just a fog of ambiguity. In this context, the silence is deafening. Well, I think it's what we've been saying all along. Like, you're going to kill it. You're going to kill Doctor Who. And like, no, Disney money, Disney. No, you're going to kill it. Oh, no, Disney. Really? How's that working out for you?
There's still a sort of a contingency of people who insist that Doctor Who can't be killed. Even that it can't even be damaged.
Really?
Yeah, I know, it's ridiculous. I mean, there's several people who are very active still on X who are adamant of this. Oh, just like Doctor Who was dead when they did this or that or the other. Really facetious.
No, Doctor Who was dead. I'm sorry. Doctor Who in the 90s was dead. It was dead as a doornail.
Well, I'm talking more about creative choices that were made that were meant to be the death knell for the series, for the continuity, for its viability. And they're largely younger people, though some older people do come out with this stuff as well. We're old enough to know better, but it's mostly younger people who weren't there at the time. So they've read the entire fandom was up in arms about, I don't know, something that happened in season 19, Deadly Assassin, something like that. But the truth of the matter is that they weren't. A few angry letters. It was far, far smaller. A few Mardy letters written into Celestial Toy Room.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow, it's not some universal chorus of disapproval.
Right, and also things change. I remember City of Death used to be reviled when I was young. As like just stupid. And like now it's like a classic, right? Things change. Yeah. Moods change, whatever. Anyway, what we're seeing now isn't leadership, it's obfuscation. There you go. Again, what's happening is the mask has fallen. There's no way of saying, you can't believe a word that comes out of his bloody mouth now. It's like the truth is out, essentially. And you've got to be really, really stupid or committed to like the falsehood.
I struggle to use the expression "he's been exposed," but I certainly think because he's never really hid.
Really, but carry on.
Well, he's never really hid what his material's about or what he wants of it and his ambitions for it. But
but he's being exposed as being full of shit.
I think he's been discovered as as not a liar, but as someone who was not in full possession of the facts, who's simply not on the ball, not clued up, and he's just behind the times. I think he's been discovered as a man who is out of his league.
Yeah. Well, again, this quote from Philip Hinchcliffe is always right. Doctor Who is a show that finds you out, right? It's a show that you can't hide anything from, right? It's pure talent on display. You can't fudge it at all. When you fudge it, you get Jodie Whittaker. And even when you fudge it reasonably well, which I think Jodie Whittaker's later stuff was a good pastiche of like Matt Smith Doctor Who, but it was very unoriginal. But it's going to get apart.
The fiasco around the finale, Russell had two choices when the finale started to fall apart and he lost his leading man. He could have either have made it considerably simpler and easier on himself and cut cloth accordingly, or he could throw everything but the kitchen sink at it, do a massive load of reshoots and try and make it look like something truly epic and that was planned. He chose to go for the latter. Very, very reckless and silly thing to do, simply because he's of the mind that if you make enough noise, that equates to a kind of confidence almost that people will be seduced by.
And also, it's always worked for him in the past.
To the greater extent.
It comes together.
But what he doesn't realise is that it was earned in the past, and it was a cooperative thing between him and us. Now there's a barrier between him, the production, and us, one which he and several of his colleagues and cast members have they're the ones who've erected it.
And they erected it out of sheer arrogance. It's who says this? Simon always says this, and he's absolutely right. The hubris and arrogance of this production before it aired was nauseating, and it fell completely. It shows you how detached they were from reality, but like they were so confident in it. And essentially, it was made for a very small audience of like malcontent weirdos. That's the way I would describe it.
It should have been even more populist than his original run,
right?
Considering the amount of it that they had to make before broadcast. So they should have boxed really clever as regards the tone, the content, the themes, and each individual story. They should have been, I won't exactly use the word conservative, but have been a lot more traditional. They could have perhaps, and then depending on reception, they could potentially have maybe sort of bent it a little bit out of shape or done something more ambitious or stylized in seasons 3 and 4. But Russell couldn't start from a position of clear-headedness, I suppose, of being more realistic about the matter at hand.
The issue is we deal with
seduce an international audience isn't the same as winning over a British audience.
Oh, that's very true. But I think that we live in a time of like there's mass mental unhealth. Like it's called a mass formation psychosis.
Yeah.
It's about around Trump and Brexit. People started going crazy, right, and getting crazier and crazier and crazier. Now Russell really believes the gay world is under attack because essentially the rest of the world has said, we don't believe chicks have dicks, and can you stop involving our kids in your weird kink, right? It doesn't mean we want concentration camps of gay people, right? Which is how he
insanity.
translated in his head, and that's what destroyed everything. That's what's made him bonkers. That's what made
the lefties, the loony lefties, always argue to extreme points as well. You'd think it was a choice between one extreme situation or another extreme situation, because they're not adults themselves. They can't possibly conceive of the fact that there are adults in any room, never mind in the room that they happen to be stood in at that time.
No, maybe that's why the people hate Donald Trump so much. He has a very daddy energy, right? And say, there is right and wrong, and dad is home. Anyway,
I saw that clip of him the other day. I saw that clip of him the other day swaggering about they don't know what the fuck they're doing. He was like,
awesome.
Sometimes, and I know somebody who is severely suffers from TDS. He's a friend of mine, he really, really does. And I know that when he saw that, I haven't checked his Facebook. I would imagine he's going absolutely ballistic about the president swearing and being, but to be that open, that clear and clean about what he thinks, what he feels, and how he reads the situation, it is so refreshing.
Did you hear the guy from the UN called him daddy?
I'm a big believer in daddy.
Daddy has to use bad language.
Right? Absolutely right. Get the world's attention.
Anyway,
carry on.
Who isn't daddy is Russ Lee Davies. He wants to be daddy. The clothing line Davies' column is particularly telling. Hopefully we'll have some news soon. Until then, it's been an absolute joy. That doesn't read like somebody gearing up for the next big announcement. It reads like somebody quietly edging towards the door. Yeah. Shall I finish reading this or just move on? We're not really covering any new ground with this. It's just like I'm fascinated with the people are dealing with this in stages of grief, right? This realization that they've been fed bullshit, and I think I don't believe David stopped caring. Quite the opposite. He is very personal. The connection is why it's so hard for him to admit things are wrong. But true leadership means setting aside, having a moment of clarity. I would love him to come on my channel and have a chat. Hopefully I will straighten that, but who knows? My name's Tzvi Lebetkin, the Rabbi from another planet. Please like, share, and subscribe, and ring that little bell. Ring the little bell so you're notified when new videos drop.